All right, slope as a rate of change, average rate of change. Just going back for a second to that last problem, I omitted my units, and I apologize for that. I always put units on your answers for these application problems. So what was this amount of change? It was $0.545 trillion per year. And if you want to make better sense out of that answer, it might work best to put it in billions. Since 1 billion is 3 decimal places away from 1 trillion, if I move my decimal 3 places larger, I can then say $545 billion, which might make a little bit more sense. All right, our next example, let's take a look at what's happening here. In 1974, there were 4,150 cigarettes smoked per person in the United States. By 2006, that number had decreased to 1,700 cigarettes smoked per person. What was average rate of change? Those are your key words. Watch for those as you're working a problem. That should remind you of slope. Okay, take a look at your title here, slope as an average rate of change. So watch for those key words. The average rate of change in the number of cigarettes smoked per person in the United States between 1974 and 2006. So think logically about the problem first. Has the average rate of smoking increased or decreased? All right, so remember those two questions we answered before? What are our units? What are we looking for? What would make sense here? Well, we'd want to know how many cigarettes per year, the amount of change. So I'm going to jot that down, cigs per year. And the other question would be, is this increasing, this rate, or is it decreasing? And we know it's decreasing. So it should be a negative slope. So this will help you set up your slope equation. So on top, we want the change in the amount of cigarettes, and on the bottom I want the change in the years. Alright, so and we also know that it needs to be decreasing or negative, so I want to start with the the later amount of cigarettes, the 1,700 cigarettes, and I want to subtract 4,150 because I need to get a negative answer, because it is a decrease. And then with that 1,700 cigarettes is the date 2006, so I'll be subtracting 2006 minus 1974. Alright, again, I know I've got the right order here because it needs to be a negative answer because it's decreasing. Secondly, the 1,700 cigarettes goes with 2006, and the 4,150 cigarettes goes with 1974. So these things are above and below each other. Alright, let's do the math. 4,150 minus 1,700. What's that going to be? 0 minus 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. And 11 minus 7 is 4. 2,450, but negative. Better double check my math. Let's grab the calculator. Don't trust myself on video. 1700 subtract 4150. Negative 2450. I did do it right. Alright, from 1974 to 2006, how many years is that? Let's see, 26 years will take us to 2000. 6 more will take us 32 years. Alright, so in the course of 32 years, the amount of cigarettes went down 2,450. Let's get that rate of change. I already have my negative 2450 in the calculator. Divide it by 32. And I get a decrease of 76 and about 6/10 of a cigarette per person per year. So cigarettes per year. Alright, again, make sense of your answer when you're done. Make sure it answers the question, what was the rate of change in the number of cigarettes smoked per person in the U.S. per year between 1974 and 2006. Alright?